It's just gone lunchtime. This is All Angles here on eNCA. Good afternoon. I'm Masakora Hlacha. It is that time of the day when we give you an update on how far some of the stories we've been following up for you on Channel today have advanced. Here's your lunchtime update. Our reporters are out and about bringing you the latest stories on our top stories today. Let's get an update now. I'm joined by Avuim Dila. He's in Johannesburg, and Nobesutu Hejana is in Cape Town for us. Avuim, I'm just going to start with you. Civil society organization My Vote Counts has launched a court application challenging parts of the Political Party Funding Act. Currently, the threshold is at 100,000, but My Vote Counts says political parties should actually be compelled to disclose donations from one single rand. So political parties aren't happy about this, including Action SA. What are they arguing?
Well, Maseko, they just had a briefing where it's clear that Action SA is all for transparency, but not too much transparency. For example, they say that the threshold should be kept at that 100,000 rand, and if it is to be lowered or no limit to it, it may prove to be a nightmare when it comes to the admin side of things. For example, just documenting those 50 rands or 1 rand's fundings may prove to be a nightmare. Also, not only that, they say that this may be to the detriment of the smaller parties, saying that it will deter some of those funders that may be fearful of what may happen to them if they are publicly known, and what happens, for example, with government, which is largely associated with the governing ANC. Not only that, we do know that My Vote Count suggests that state capture was largely at the hands of the ANC, and they suggest that they can't be the benchmark of what happens to the African National Congress. Just to get a better sense of it all, I am joined, in fact, by the national chairperson of Action SA, Michael Bierman. Thank you for joining us at eNCA. You seem to suggest that, yes, you are for transparency, but not too much of it. Maybe do lay it bare for the viewer.
Well, let me just start by saying Action SA is a new party and certainly not a small party. I think there are small parties in Parliament, and we certainly aren't in that category. But I think that's the nub of the issue. Political parties in Parliament enjoy their share of 1.3 billion rand from the taxpayer, from you and me, that funds their campaigns and activities every single year. Political parties like Action SA that have not yet contested a national election have to raise every cent privately so that we can compete with those established players. How can we compete against those established players if we are going to make private fundraising that much more difficult to say that every cent must be disclosed? And the unintended consequence of what My Vote Count is doing will effectively create a system of incumbency where political parties in Parliament continue to have the advantage of billions of rands in taxpayer funding, and new political parties will struggle to compete with that in an election. In a country where 26 million people would rather not vote than vote for any of those parties in Parliament, I think that would be the true crime.
All right, thank you very much. We do understand, of course, My Vote Count going to court in May, wanting that threshold to be dismissed entirely and every cent to be transparent when it comes to political party funding. And it's not only Action SA that's going to take them to court themselves, but also the Democratic Alliance, who will be speaking with a bit later on.
All right. Now, Nobesutu, let me come to you. Another community fearing for their lives because of crime, of course. This time it's in Taiwan there in the Western Cape, where the police minister actually visited residents back in April and made promises, Nobesutu. So what are community members saying this time about police visibility or police inaction?
Certainly, Masejo, we are in fact in Taiwan, where earlier this month, 18-year-old Sikelelwa Mona lost his life. It's alleged that she was drugged, raped and murdered after she had went out with friends for a party or a celebration. But in this area, we've been hearing from community members and those who are in different civil society organizations that have been complaining about the high crime in this particular area. But I'm joined by Upudluzuko Melapi just to talk about the issues and the fears surrounding this particular area. But Melapi, we've been hearing from residents they are in fear because Taiwan is one of those areas where people fear for their lives. Just tell us about the impact of the crime and the fact that some people have been complaining about the lack of police visibility.
Yes, my name is Luzuko Melapi. I'm staying in Kaelicha in Western Cape. I am the CSF Deputy Chairperson. The reason we are here today as men, we are coming to say no to crime because Kaelicha is a burden place for crime whereby we have no security in terms of lot of police human resource, which makes us vulnerable to crime, whereby gangsters are in charge in Khayelitsha.
And obviously this morning you visited the home of Sikelelwa and police are here to assist. What are you hoping to achieve, and also your hopes going forward with the high crime in this particular area?
What we're hoping to achieve as the Men's Forum of South Africa and the civil society, we want to achieve a way forward for us as men to say we are standing up. No more crime in South Africa, no more crime in this particular area of South Sea and Khayelitsha and the Western Cape. We are saying they must stop violating women's rights and raping women.
Thank you very much. Well, Masego, one of the issues that we've been hearing from residents also is the fact that Khayelitsha lacks more police stations. We know that the Makaza police station, which was promised last year in November, the situation has not changed. People are saying that if the area had more police officers or police stations, it will assist, but in this case they are struggling because of those services. But in the moment they are heading to the place where the body of Sikelelwa was found, where they will be doing a candlelight service to honor her life.
All right, Nobesuthu Hejana, thank you. Let's leave it there for now. That was your eNCA lunchtime update from all angles with reporters Aviwem Dila and Nobesuthu.